If you want to know how to pack on muscle size, this video is for you. Building muscle is not easy. It isn't, but it's not for the reasons you might think. Building the actual muscle is easy, on paper. Just lift weights, get in enough protein, and make sure you're giving it your all. But that's all a bit vague. There's no specific action. Okay, go lift. And do what exactly? Get in enough protein. Okay, but how much? And how often? Give it your all is as vague as it can be. You think you're giving it your all, but when there's a real motive to get that extra rep, your face turns red, and you're struggling to get the weight up. Now that's giving it your all. But even those vague descriptions isn't why muscle building isn't easy. You go to the gym and lift, now you're really pushing yourself, and you take in the right amount of protein, all in one day, and you still don't see any results. And that's the issue that many people don't understand. Building muscle is slow. It takes long and there's no rushing it, like you can with burning fat and losing weight. You can lose 10 pounds of fat in a month. You can't really build 10 pounds of muscle in a month, naturally. The first thing you need to build muscle long term isn't something actionable, it's mental. You gotta see things differently. Think long term, delayed gratification. And I know, that's boring. Exactly. Boring is brilliant. The long term, the boring approach, it gets you the results. You just need patience and consistency. But if it's boring all the time, you won't keep going. You'll quit. So, we need some immediate gratification, something to look forward to, something that shows us we're on the right path. For that immediate joy, we gotta make the day-to-day feel like a game, turning what we have to do into what we get to do. The more that the work we need to do feels like play, the easier it'll be to repeat, and that's consistency. The key to building muscle isn't just picking up weights and throwing them around. And if you're a newbie in the gym, just looking at weights is gonna help you build muscle. But as those newbie gains fade, doing whatever won't cut it anymore. We need structure, we need a plan and intention. It's not just about lifting weights, it's getting stronger, giving the muscle a reason to grow. And that's progressive overload. That's one of the games of each gym day. 1 or 2 exercises, those will get your main attention. You're still going to do the other exercises, but you're aiming to absolutely gain strength on those 1 or 2 exercises. If it's incline barbell press and weighted pull-ups, you're gonna make sure to get stronger, but not on all the sets, kinda. The first set, after warming up, is going to be your heaviest weight, and you're going to focus on trying to get the weight up. And if you're doing this and gaining some strength, but still not noticing much muscle gain, then I would say to really give it your all, for all your sets. Maybe reserve a rep, but not for the first set, the heavy set. Sometimes you can't add any more weight. Not even 2.5 pounds on each side will do much. You're still stuck. You've hit a plateau. A few things you can do to break through this plateau. Change the exercise. You're still working out the same muscle group, but instead of incline barbell press, it's dumbbells. Instead of weighted pull-ups, it's lat pull down or machine pull down. And if you're like me, there's times when you're not in the gym, but working out from home. All you might have is a barbell or a pull-up bar. In this case, we change the rep scheme. Instead of doing 3 sets of 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and 8 to 10 reps, we're going for 6 to 8, 8 to 10, and 10 to 12 reps. We go higher in reps, so we need to lower the weight. Our first set is still our heaviest, but instead of focusing on the heaviest weight we can do, we're trying to go for more reps. Micro plates. If you still want to add weight to the bar, look into micro plates. Instead of 2.5 pounds on each side, you'll add 1.25 pounds on each side. A small difference, but bigger rewards. Resting between sets. Maybe you're not making progress because you're not resting long enough in between sets. You're resting 1 to 2 minutes when you should be resting 3 to 4 minutes or longer. If your body still feels fatigued, even though your alarm says it's time for the second set, add a bit more time. You can invert this as progressive overload too. Instead of resting longer, you rest shorter. Not 3 to 4 minutes, but 2. Your body isn't as rested. It'll make the lighter weight feel heavier. I'd advise this to be a last resort for free weights. Not eating enough. Maybe it's not what you're doing in the gym that's getting in the way of your strength gains. It could be your diet. You're not fueling your body enough. Don't be afraid to put on a bit of body fat. A bit of planned body fat that you can easily burn off in a month or 2. Eating more is not only fuel for your workouts, but for muscle building. Since we're in the topic of diet, let's talk about protein. You don't need much to fuel muscle growth and recovery. Whatever your current body weight is, get in 1 gram of protein per pound of your current body weight at most, or at least 0.8 grams per pound of your current body weight. And even this we can make into a game. Just like playing Fortnite or Call of Duty, protein is your HP, and the food you eat is fuel. Full health, let's say, is 0.8 grams per pound of your current body weight. 1 gram per pound of your body weight is full HP plus shield. Each day turns into a first-person player game. Draw your protein intake for the day as a battery bar. Each meal that you take in protein, color in the amount, and aim to fill up the battery. Or use the HP method. But it's not just about getting in your protein, but when. Get in your protein 3 to 5 times spread out throughout the day. This turns into breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus 2 protein snacks. If you want to optimize for muscle growth and recovery, get in your protein 5 times throughout the day. Sleep. It's the second vital key in muscle building. It's where the damage that we've caused to our muscles in the gym is being rebuilt. And if you're not getting in enough sleep, you're literally sleeping on your muscle gains. 8 hours of sleep is preferable, but that isn't the aim. It's to get in enough sleep to the point you feel refreshed the next morning. This amount of sleep is different for everyone. It might be 7 hours for some and 9 hours to others. The point is, just get in enough sleep. Don't stay up too late. Let your body do what it does best and build muscle while you sleep. It's not just about gaining strength, but adding volume in the form of higher reps. This 3 sets of 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and 8 to 10 reps is a perfect model for adding strength and adding volume. The first set is all strength. The second set is still a bit more about strength. The third set is volume, but you're also doing other exercises for volume. If you're targeting your chest and doing barbell flat press, this is where you'll use the 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and 8 to 10 rep model. But it's not the only exercise. You'll also add chest flies, machines, cables, dumbbells, whichever one you can do. You're going to go higher in reps. And you'll add an extra set, so 4 sets. You're going to go higher in reps, not 4 to 6, but 12 to 15 reps. This added volume on top of gaining strength is how you maximize muscle building. Even if you're not aiming for strength, you can still turn this into play. The game for these higher reps is to try to get in 15 reps for every single set, with the last set being the most challenging. Or you can make each set a challenge. Your first set is the heaviest, but you're still able to get 15 reps, maybe with 1 rep in the tank, meaning you could have gotten 1 more, maybe. Lower the weight after each set, and try and get 15 reps. And that leads me to the next section. If you're not keeping track of your workouts, the sets, the reps, and the weight, even including notes to yourself, you're getting in your own way of building muscle long term. And if you are building muscle right now, you're lucky, or a beginner, or you might even have good genetics. But for most, this luck will run out. Write down your workouts on an actual page or on your phone in your notes, but keep track. You might be able to remember how much weight you did for your first heavy set, but not the rest. And if you're living a busy life, there's too much going on for you to remember. Use this template to write down and record your workouts. Not only is it important to track your progress, but to give yourself notes, so you can adjust your workouts to be optimal for the next time. And if you're not tracking, you're leaving muscle gains on the table. Yes, you do need to eat a little bit more to fuel muscle growth, but not so much that you've gained a ton of body fat. You might be able to lift more, and it might look like you're gaining a lot of muscle. And you might be, but it's also body fat. The aim here isn't just to gain muscle, but to have dense and visible muscle. If it's covered up by fat, it's harder to see, and you'll have to go on a longer cut to burn off this fat. And in the process of doing that, you'll also lose muscle. I'm not saying not to bulk. For some people, it's actually needed. But for most, a small calorie surplus of 100 to 200 calories each day is all you'll need. Then, when you go in a calorie deficit to burn fat, you make sure it's just body fat being burned, and not muscle. Because you'll go slow on a cut. A calorie deficit of 200 to 300 calories. For building lasting muscle size, do it slow. If you follow the advice I've given you, in 3 months you should be able to at least gain 4 to 6 pounds of muscle. I know, that doesn't sound like a lot, but it'll make a noticeable difference on your physique. And if you find yourself at a point where you're happy with how much muscle size you have and don't want to gain anymore, you now know how to optimize for muscle gains. Just don't do it all. Skip some steps, don't bulk. Eat only 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Just don't do it all and you'll retain your size. Just keep being strong. The tools are here for you to succeed, muscle-wise. So what are you gonna do? Use this advice or stay the same? The choice? That's yours. Hasta luego.